3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, I'm Gael, and welcome back. Wait, I forgot how it goes. Oh shit! Oh fuck!
Hi, you say hi
everyone,
guys.
I'm Gael.
No, you say hi. I thought you said hi. Welcome back to the podcast.
No, what the fuck?
Yes, you
I
say
don't
hi.
say
Welcome back to the podcast.
Yeah.
Don't. Okay.
What?
Wait.
That's
What the
how-
fuck do I say?
He says,
Hi,
like,
welcome back to the
hey, I'm
podcast.
Gael, and then we all introduce ourselves. And
No,
Hi
but he
everyone,
says-
I'm Gael. I'm Thomas. I'm Ken, and welcome back to the podcast.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh,
shit.
my bad.
we've been doing this for how
I
long?
How long?
Guys,
Okay.
do better.
Start over.
Start over. Whoever's editing this, can you put that as the pre-intro? So before the
He
intro
did that on
song?
purpose.
I did it.
That was a quirky intro.
I didn't, but
Nice.
you know, I kind of miss
like
when we
the
used
way
to
you
have our
think.
little quirky intros.
Add the little lo-fi
Remember,
music
like
too.
Motherfucker.
the first episode, we were like, should we like pretend?
Should we pretend?
No.
And that's what kickstarted our initial
Oh
success.
God.
It's killing me.
You know what? Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. You know what? Just keep it in at that point. Like, it's fine. If they're gonna clown, it's fine. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Gael.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Kayla.
I'm Mark.
Sorry about that, guys, for forgetting the intro. But we're here again. What day is
Nord.
it? It's what day is it today? This is going up on Friday, which is the 31st, New Year's Eve. Holy shit.
Oh my
crazy.
goodness. End of the day. I mean, end of the year.
The year the year is over. The year is over, guys.
I'm sorry.
Kayla thought that was
Okay.
just too funny.
That was really
I'm in a
fucking
laughing
good.
mood now.
Yeah. Wow, great energy, guys. Welcome back. It's 2022 in a couple of hours. Kayla. She's just so joyfully happy.
Okay.
She's just being a little silly right now.
I'm so
She's a
sorry.
little
I'm
silly.
in a silly mood.
She is. She's a silly gal.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. I mean, I don't want to do the typical New Year's episode. We're like, what are? Let's make a time capsule. Oh my god, yes.
Great
That was
idea.
good for
No more
1 year,
time.
okay?
Yeah, we should.
And no more resolutions either.
Yeah, I don't want to do
Why?
resolutions.
Okay, Mark, what are your resolutions real quick?
Actually, I wanna know if we ever like
Kept?
I
I don't know.
I probably didn't.
I probably didn't either. I want to be a good person.
That's funny.
I don't remember. Should we like look into it?
Probably. Remember last year we made like a video where we
But wasn't that for like years later? Or
No,
was
no,
that
no.
for the next
No.
year?
Last year we made a video reacting to our past stuff. But I don't know
Okay.
if
Did
we ever.
we actually?
We did? I do not
No.
remember that.
No. Really?
God.
You asked us to pull like some of our favorite memories.
Oh, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
Shit.
I think it was for something else that we just.
I
ended
think
up
so.
doing.
I don't think we ever posted it.
Dude, our last episode of the year of 2020 was December 22nd, 2020. The description is, enjoy the last episode of the year as we talk about Christmas presents, Kayla almost dying, and our
Wait,
goals
Oh,
for
the
the
car
new year.
crash. I remember.
You got into a
What?
car crash?
It
What?
was like an almost car
Oh my
crash.
God.
Yeah.
My memory is horrible.
I forgot that happened.
Girl, I don't think she
Dude,
even
every
remembered.
Christmas is cursed with something.
I'm sorry.
Last year, car crash. This year, fight. Next year, I'm not celebrating Christmas.
Come celebrate
I'm
with
done.
me, Kayla, at this point.
Oh my God.
I feel
Well,
like
with-
this year's
Oh,
Christmas
yeah.
was the worst.
Really?
Like, actually, like, just the worst Christmas. Because,
Yeah.
What?
It was.
What happened, Thomas? We never asked you how was your Christmas.
it was all right. Like, it was, like, just really uneventful. It wasn't that anything bad happened. It's just that nothing happened. It's, more for, like, I guess relatives who come over and eat
Yeah.
and you open gifts and that's it. I don't know. Like, Christmas used to be my favorite holiday, but I don't see the hype anymore.
Yeah. Did you end up doing your Christmas activities?
No. I don't have like a boyfriend to do it with.
Remember we
You don't
went
need a
to
boyfriend.
Orange Circle.
Oh, yeah, actually I went on a date with Kayla. So.
Yeah, it was
Aw,
our
that's so
Christmas
cute.
date, and we went to this one place because we thought it was gonna be like full of people, like music going on. Because last time I went, they had that. It was pretty
Empty.
empty. It's pretty empty.
No
this
carolers?
time. No
Oh.
carolers.
What?
Like, yeah, I
I
know.
feel like that'd be perfect.
Last time I went, there were carolers.
Oh.
And this time.
It was quite tough.
Yeah. It wasn't quite the day that we imagined.
Yeah, like Christmas just kind of came and went. Like it's like it never even happened.
Some people say that we need to have the whole week off this week. Like from the 25th up until the 31st should be pure
Yeah.
vacation.
Yeah.
Because it feels weird because then you go back to work for like 5 days and then you go back to like
Oh.
resting and like partying or whatever.
It's weird.
It's weird.
I agree.
That's why I'm like, should I work? Should I not?
We live in a society.
That's so true. I mean, yeah. Christmas was it was fun for me. I thought it was fun. It was nice having my family and stuff with me. That was really sweet. Oh my fucking god, dude. This is one of the presents I got was like it was what? Drugs?
No, Jordan.
Oh, Jordans? No. It's funny because so this is the first year that I'm like spending Christmas with my grandparents in like, I don't know, like 12 years or something. And so for Christmas, my grandma gave me a gift. And, you know, we always do this thing where we like all open gifts, and she was like, okay, now I have one for, you know, me. And she was like, it's a little detail, but I hope you love it. There's lots of love. And I was like, okay.
Aw.
Like I was already like tearing up, like just like the fact
Yeah.
that it was like a little like, oh my God, it was so
Yeah.
cute. And I open it and it's a bowl. But it's just like this bowl because I really like the traditional Mexican bowls that are brown and are like, you know,
Mhm.
have the little designs on it. And I really wanted one. And I've been like really wanting one. And she was like, here you go. And she gave like, here, I got a bowl. And oh my fucking
my
God, that shit was so
God.
cute. Like I was fighting tears trying to say thank you. I was like,
Nice.
thank you. Like, oh my God, that Christmas gift hit me very, very hard. And it was so cute. And it was like, holy shit, like that bowl I am gonna keep forever because it was just so
Yeah.
adorable. It's just, I don't know. So that was a really, really special gift that I got this year, which I thought was really nice. And it's just really cute how like the most simple gifts also like tend to be like the sweetest.
That's really
That's
cute.
nice.
That
I
is
know.
really cute.
Yeah, so it was a good Christmas. I'm very happy with the results of this year's Christmas. Great
Yeah.
season. Great season.
You got Jordans.
I did get Jordans.
And Jordan.
I got Jordans. Yes.
I think Mark is more excited about the Jordans.
No, the bowl is cute.
the ball.
I love the bowl.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah,
Can we see a
Jordan.
picture of it? Do you have a picture?
I don't have a picture.
Is it homemade?
No, it's just like the traditional Mexican balls.
I'd
Did
love
she
to see
like
it.
get it from Mexico?
No, I don't think so. I think she got it recently.
Did you tell her that you wanted a bowl like that? or-
Well, she knows I had been mentioning because every time we go to Northgate and I see the balls, I'm always like, I love those. And so I
You're
always say how much I
classy.
love
Cute.
it. Yeah. So yeah, that was nice. And the Jordans were nice.
Oh.
Yeah, this year was very good to me in terms of gifts. I got really, really great stuff.
You did.
I did. I'm very thankful. But enough about that. I don't want it to turn into a, what do you get for Christmas? What is your resolution? Unless you want to say your resolution, go ahead.
I'm good.
No shame, no resolution shaming. Mark,
I don't have one.
Are
As
you
much
sure?
as I always talk about it.
you don't have one.
I don't.
Okay, let's see what we said for
No.
last year.
I also hope to have a car.
Who was that? Was that you?
Yeah.
Oh, you
I thought-
do.
Well,
You
if
do have
it's
a car.
on, I guess so. Damn, the audio quality is kind of ass.
Yeah, right?
Well, I
Like,
didn't remember it being that
Did we
bad.
do it over online? Is that why?
Did we?
Maybe. It sounds like it.
We did do it online.
who the fuck is that?
That's
That's
Kayla,
me.
bro.
Yeah.
Bro, who's the only girl?
Come on.
Yeah, but it just didn't not sound like her at
We
all.
did it
Because
online.
it's over.
It do be the online.
Corona's gonna be.
Yeah.
Corona.
Look, if I was a listener during this time, I would
And
not listen.
Hopefully, I would have gone out of Orange County by then. By next year.
You sure
You did it.
Yeah, I
You
did
did
it.
I'm trying to think of what else. Hopefully, still learning how to become more independent.
Yeah.
Not fully rely on other people. Just
Yeah.
learning how to be
doing
like
that.
happy with myself.
Yeah. Still learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just continuing to grow. Yeah.
Awesome.
I accomplished most of it actually.
Yeah.
Let's
Wait, that's
go.
actually kind of good.
Right?
Do it, do
Kind
it.
Really
of
think about
queen
that.
activities slay.
Wait, I didn't hear Mark's or Tom's.
Well, girl, we're like one.
Oh, okay.
We're still going.
I also hope to have a car.
Okay.
I also hope to have a car.
Cool. I think I want a car.
Just for emphasis.
Hope to have my license.
Okay.
And you did.
That was this year. Wow.
That's wild.
Okay.
Be able to drive it, obviously. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be in college, but
I was.
I hope I meet a lot of new people and make a lot of new friends and
You did?
people wherever that might be.
Here and there.
And yeah, keep focusing on everything, and hopefully nothing terrible happens next year.
Nothing terrible has happened.
Woo.
Has any?
I mean, we still have what, like 3 more days left?
Yeah. Has anything terrible happened? Nothing terrible. So didn't get into a car crash. Didn't die. 1 more year. That's great.
Okay, I'll go next.
Yeah.
Okay, Marv. His voice is naturally that deep. That's cool.
I know because I'm like trying to think.
Yeah.
Was I sad or something?
I don't know.
I hope that next year I can really learn and be able to be content and happy with myself, because I realized like through this year I have always depended on other people for my happiness, and that's really unstable and unhealthy. So I hope that next year I'm able to just be with myself and be totally okay with it. I guess that's just like the main goal. I think if I just focus on becoming my best self and just really devoting all my time and effort into me, then I'll be in a lot stable. I'll be in a better place by then. And like Kayla said, I hope to just be out of Orange County. But yeah, that's it.
Wow.
That's great.
God.
Honestly, I mean, it happened. Like,
That's happened.
Awesome.
I'm in Los Angeles now, and I did put like a lot of focus into myself this year. It was like a not very traumatic year, surprisingly. Like compared to all other years of my life, like this one was not traumatic. It was pretty good, and I'm still learning how to be like completely okay with just myself, but significant improvement. Yes. Yeah, sounds good. How cute.
Wow, that is cute. Let's see where Mark
I kind of
is.
hate him though. Whoever was like.
Oh, it's Isaac.
Isaac isn't here. 'cause he's
Oh wait,
sick,
we
by the
like
way.
never acknowledge
Yeah.
that.
Why is Isaac not here?
He's sick with COVID.
He's
We don't know.
under the
Hopefully
weather.
no.
Yeah, let's hope
Hopefully
not.
just the flu.
I'm the crown.
Oh, here's more.
For me, is grow.
You know me.
I want to grow with my family.
I did.
I want to grow with my dad.
I did.
I want to grow
Kinda.
with new friends, old friends.
Oh, I did that,
I want to
for
grow
sure.
with my girlfriend.
Hell yeah, we did.
And I want to grow as an individual as well.
I guess.
Wow.
Cute.
Whoa.
Wow.
I grow.
Wow.
It's just it's so weird because like the people speaking just seem like such different people.
It's weird.
It's very weird, and it was only like 1 year.
Right.
Crazy.
Isn't it weird?
Wait, we were
Weird.
seniors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
We were still in school.
Yeah, we were
during that
still-
time?
Yeah.
High school. You had a girlfriend that entire year.
Oh my god.
That's so weird.
Why is it weird?
I don't know. It's just like that's a long time.
Oh,
That is a
yeah.
lot.
It feels like
you
something
too.
would have happened between them, but it's just
Oh, there was definitely like times like that.
yeah.
But we chose. Or I mean,
persevere.
we chose. Yeah, we still chose to be
Love
with
is
each
work.
other.
Love
It
is
is.
work.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Cute.
Cute.
Yeah. Lots
Wow.
of lessons to be learned.
I know, right? That's interesting to hear. I wonder what 2019 would have said about that.
True.
Yeah, solid year, I think. Yeah, that's wild. I keep like combining like the memories of 2020 with 2021. Like sometimes there's like a blur between what happened in 2020 and what happened in 2021.
What did happen in 2020?
In 2020, it was like New York Times, like
Oh man.
Oh my god.
CNN, Good Morning
That's
America.
crazy.
Dude, that
It
was like a
Prince
busy year
Harry.
for us.
It was.
That was a
Like,
big year
no,
for
right?
us.
It was. It was our little breakthrough.
Wait,
That was
2020
Are you
was Harry?
Yeah,
Prince Harry?
Are you sure?
October
I thought it was
2020.
this
Wasn't it
year.
2021?
It was
No.
not this year. It was
Oh,
October
shoot,
2020.
No, yeah, it's 2020.
Wild.
What the heck?
Like, it's been the longest 2 years ever.
It has a lot of growth in these 2 years, and
Yeah.
would this have happened regardless of the pandemic? That's what I want to know. Like,
No, it wouldn't have.
I feel like it would have been a lot harder.
Yeah. I
'Cause-
feel like the pandemic
Shit.
just really allowed all of us to grow and focus on
do we?
ourselves.
I think did we grow because we were like by ourselves, and we weren't like surrounded by people, so there was obviously less judgment. There was more room to explore, and it kind of made us realize, what do I want because I like it, and what do I want because I see everyone else around me. So I guess it does have like an effect on us, even if we don't necessarily realize it.
Mhm.
Kind of weird.
Very weird.
I was like totally not archived before the pandemic.
Shut the
Stop.
fuck up.
I want to be archived. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about what the ways that we didn't grow, or what was it? The ways that we changed for the worst instead
Yes.
of changing for the better. Because yeah, we grew. We like learned to. How did we change for the absolute worst? You know, what went
God.
downhill this
Absolute
year?
worst.
Yeah. Even though
so
we've all
bad.
had a really great year this year, what went wrong?
What went wrong?
Who wants to start?
I need to think about it.
Me too.
I don't
I
know.
don't like thinking about that.
You just
I mean, I don't
because
even.
you don't look in the past, so then like
That's
Yeah.
so true. This is.
I only see myself as good,
Yeah,
not bad.
yeah.
I'm only good.
only good.
I feel like it's difficult because I haven't had a year like this where like
There's a home run.
it was a home run.
That's how you guys been living.
No, literally, like, damn, life has been really good. So I don't know. Usually I have like a whole list of bad things, but not really this year.
I'm sure we've changed for the worst in some ways, or are we always changing for the better?
no, I feel
Fuck.
like
Or at least maybe not us personally, like, because I feel like it would take effort to kind of like change for the worse, right? You'd really have to like try.
Maybe somebody else sees it in us.
Oh,
my God.
oh my God, that's so
Do you,
true.
Kayla?
see something worse in you.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I feel like compared to past years, this is like the best I've seen you. It's like,
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, no, it really is true.
Yeah.
Like this is your peak right now.
2020 was my low. God.
Fuck, man.
I can't even.
I thought this would be more interesting.
I guess
Well,
we're just not bad people.
we're just perfect.
We just
We're
really
perfect.
We're so
Yeah.
this
We
is
can't-
this
we
is
can't
very
We only
entitled
change
of
for the
us.
better.
Mhm.
Wow, guys,
We make no
can't think.
mistakes.
Nope.
Yeah.
We're the best
This is
friend
not
group
very
ever.
authentic of us. How? Okay, what?
I
have
guess
we-
I guess one bad thing is that like we all kind of fell apart.
Oh,
Like-
okay, yeah. That's in
and-
terms
and-
of, like
and, like-
everything. Okay.
Yeah, and like it's not a bad thing that everyone in the podcast has grown apart because we are not all living in the same city anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess like we grew apart, but it's not a bad thing. Like we know we're still there for each other, but we're just not as close.
Yeah, like whether yeah, so either bad things or ways that we grew for the worst, or situations in our life that grew for the worst or changed for the worst.
Then I'll just say, yeah, just my friendships with you guys feel like a lot different from before. Well, that's because we were so close from before. But right now, it's not that. Not a bad thing, of course. It's just something I noticed.
Yeah, and sometimes I do view it as a bad thing.
Yeah, why is it not a bad thing?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Why is it not a bad thing?
No, it's like so good. We're like, don't talk to her.
Fuck. I
Right?
mean,
Like-
go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like, I do view it as a bad thing sometimes because it just sometimes it just doesn't feel like before, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think the reason why I don't see it as a bad thing is because I'm really happy right now, and I feel like maybe the podcast was kind of limiting me, like being at home, being around the same people for a long time, and I feel like last year the podcast was a really toxic environment for me, and I've talked about it before on the podcast. And so when I had like time away from everyone, I think it helped.
Mhm.
You know, I think I outgrew everybody and the podcast. And that's why that time away from everyone was really helpful. But it doesn't mean like there's bad blood or like I don't want to be close anymore. It's like I needed that time to grow. But now that I have grown, I think I can like form better relationships with everybody now.
Oh,
You know? Because
that's what's up.
if I stayed like in Anaheim, I don't know if I was allowed to say that.
Well, we always say
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
Yeah.
We live in Anaheim, guys.
Next to what?
Stop.
Like if I stayed in Anaheim and was still maintaining my friendships with Gael, Mark, Isaac, and I'm still friends with Kayla. I wouldn't be happy. I feel like, you know, friends just outgrow each other. It's not a bad thing. It's normal.
Yeah, and I think it's important to point out that there is no bad blood. It's just like we're just in different stages right now, and you know, some of us are farther away, and yeah,
Different life paths and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. That definitely is one thing that like changed for the worst. Definitely very interesting to see. Like I said, I think we talked about this in like 2 episodes ago. One is to see people change. And like, you know, you outgrow them, they outgrow you. And the other is also like to see bonds that you have with people just kind of like slowly fade. It reminds me of those lines. I don't know if you've ever seen this chart, but it's like how relationship with people go, and it's like different lines of closeness.
I
You know,
think so,
friends
yeah.
is like apart, and then it go woo, and then it bounces off.
Oh man.
And I found that so sad because I think this was like, I think the podcast group in general was like the first time that I've like been close to someone and then totally like bounced off that trajectory. Because everybody always says when you grow up, you're gonna lose a lot of friends move on, and like you don't really believe it because you're like, we're so close, like, you know, what could ever possibly happen? And then something happens, and it's so funny because like this has happened actually like once before where, you know, I used to be really close with someone and then we kind of like bounced off. And I remember being like really young. I think I was like, I don't know, I think it was around like middle school, elementary, around there. And I was like, wow, I totally never thought that would happen. Because we used to be like, what could go wrong for us to not be close anymore? And it's always the most unexpected things that happen.
Really.
So it really is like, you're never safe. You're not to put any anxiety on you, but you're never safe. Like even in the people you think you're the closest with, you're like, we're so close. Like I don't think anything could go wrong. Weird
Yeah.
stuff happens.
life changes really fast.
Yeah, and unexpectedly too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's really like, to me at least, it was weird because I think it was like a lot of. Is it raining?
The
No,
It's raining.
It's raining. This is so cool. This is really
It's
cozy.
the mood that we're setting right now.
I know it's the mood. God is crying for us. The earth is crying because of this loss.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a lot of friendships do come and go.
Yeah.
And I think it was this year. I don't even remember. I think it was this year, like beginning of 2021, like around Christmas time to like middle of like summer was definitely a tough year for me in terms of like friendships. I felt like I had to like let go of a lot of like a lot of my love for people, and that was like really really difficult. And I had to like learn to just care less. And that's definitely hard. It's definitely hard to do. So I guess that's something that changed for the worst, is that like a lot of people that I used to like really care for, I had to just learn to accept the fact that like, you know, maybe I don't need to care that much anymore, and I just have to like care at a level that's healthy for me. Because it's also important to not attach yourself too hard and think that like you should love unconditionally because you just really want to love them, because at a certain point it could be it could drag you down. So that's something that changed for the worst.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think people noticed? That you
Yeah,
stopped?
of course. I think it would it would hurt even more if they didn't notice, because it just goes to show how like little they appreciated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure, like, I don't know, at least for me, I feel like my love and my appreciation in friendships is very like clear and very like loud. So I think it's definitely a noticeable thing.
Yeah, I think I struggled with that last year too. And it was really difficult to just stop loving somebody. And like even though like the love will always be there, it's just hard not to want to be happy with them. I think one big lesson that I learned this year is that you can learn to be happy for them, but you don't have to be happy with them. And it was like really tough for me to come to terms with that, because all I wanted was for me to be happy with them, for them to be happy with me. Like we can be happy together as long as like we're still together and spending time with each other. But it was long overdue. Like the expiration date on that friendship or relationship, it had to come to an end in order for both of us to grow. And it was like the best thing that could have happened for me and like the people I had to kind of stopped having relations with. And I still care for everybody, like, you know, like all those friendships and stuff, but you know, they're not the same people that I first met and like fell in love with and like hung out with and stuff. So, I mean, just trying to come to terms that people are not the same people that when you first meet them is just, I think that's the biggest battle.
Yeah, that's a really trippy thing, and that's like what like I was like have been feeling for a while, and it's like why we like did that episode on like, I forgot what, I think it was like reminiscing or something. Because it's really weird, because like for example Thomas, I don't he's not the same person he was like when we were close, and it's really weird because it's like there's two separate people. The image I have of him in my head like isn't this person, so it's like weird. It's really weird.
I think I see what you mean.
Yeah, it feels really weird. It's like there's like, I don't know, it sounds so cliche, but it really does. Like it's like this is a stranger. I don't really know him. I'm not really close with him. The person that like I knew and I like was close with and like doesn't really exist anymore. And that's really weird. That's really like scary.
I don't know if like you guys could just take the hint, but I was talking about Gael through that. I don't like to like straight up say it, but yeah, like it was really difficult for me to just realize that Gael's not the same, you know, person. Same middle schooler, you know, like I you know, it was like I fell in love with like this guy, and it was like my first love and first attachment, and everything was just so blissful. And I mean, I had a really good time with him and stuff, and you know, Gael's a great person, and I still have a lot of love for him. It's just not the same person, and it's kind of like grieving the relationship you have with someone, but they're still there, but it's just not the same. And sometimes it hurts, but I know it's for the best. So it's not like, it's bad at first. Like for the first couple of months or maybe even years, it's definitely a tough thing to process. It's kind of like grieving. But it's possible to come to terms with it. Definitely possible. So, yeah.
That was cute.
Yeah.
It's like you guys are reconciling some.
Yeah, right. I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are talking about each other.
I know, right?
Like,
Mm-hmm.
And like, being on a podcast with Kyle is also weird because I still know everything I need to know about him. Kind of like what's going on with his life, how he's feeling.
yeah.
Maybe that helps. I don't know. Maybe it helps think about it less. I'd
Maybe, yeah.
imagine.
I don't know. Obviously, I wish Kyle the best, and okay, let me be a little more vulnerable about this. On Christmas Eve, I was just doing my thing, and then I see Kyle's story, and then I see that, it's his mom with like a turkey, I think, and it's, their Christmas dinner, and it just made me really sad that night because it kind of, like, I have a whole like notes thing, like it's like paragraphs, and I was just thinking about how different our relationship is now, and just like it used to be like me spending Christmas with you guys, and then here I was like all alone in my room, and so that was like really tough for me to see. But it wasn't like I wasn't jealous and I wasn't angry or sad. It was very bittersweet because I was really happy to see him happy and his family, because I love his family a lot too. Like it was just like super bittersweet. Like I don't know how to put it into words, but I think anyone can kind of imagine how difficult that might be to see somebody used to be like a really, you used to play a really big role in that person's life, and now it's kind of been replaced, and it's hard to be happy for them if you're not happy with them.
Yeah, it is just bittersweet. Like that I've had a lot of like those moments too, with many different people, and it's just very bittersweet. Like it's just like it's a I oh my god, I swear I like gaslight myself or like fucking invalidate my own feelings, because every time I feel like I'm being over dramatic, because it just feels like I'm like in a show where like the main character's like and like it's like really emotional and shit, and it's just bittersweet. It feels like there should be like a fucking like end of season like soundtrack playing, because that's how those moments feel. Like if you want to know how it feels like when like the main character goes through something tragic, like he sees like someone being happy but he's still sad, and it's just like a tragic ending. It's like, oh, that's how it feels to me. Just very bittersweet. It's like
a Lord album.
Exactly. It really just feels like that.
That's really good.
Like you're just gonna listen to rips and like just go on a walk and like be sad. Be like,
A word alone, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it is really bittersweet.
Yeah. But it's like a come and go thing. It's like you know it's for the best. It's just
Bittersweet.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just very bittersweet.
I think we get it.
Take a shot every time we say bittersweet.
Well, there has to be another word to describe.
I know, right? No,
that.
like there's definitely a better word. I just can't think it. Think of it.
I thought I didn't know. I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Pretty long year.
Yeah. That's something that
Nice.
changed for the worst.
But also for the best.
Yes, that too.
Because
It's
it is
bittersweet.
bittersweet.
The duality almost.
It's just
crazy.
sweet, but it's also bitter.
Oh, it's so sweet and bitter and sour.
It's bitter and it's sweet.
So bitter and sweet.
Oh man,
Oh yeah.
I see.
Anything tragic happened in your guys' life that was also sweet?
So sweet.
I mean, it was just like, it wasn't only my relationship with Gael. It was like
Other
my
people.
friendships with almost everybody. It
Yeah.
kind of, it died a little. And it was hard coming to terms with that. Not just podcasts. It's like also like other friends. Like,
Oh
It's- it's not just you, Mark.
no, yeah, I've experienced that too.
But it's like the same thing. Like, we
Yeah.
still have a lot of love for each other. It's just not the same.
Yeah,
And it's okay.
I think today I just found out one of them. Don't rub it in. No, but yeah,
Name drop.
I've definitely ever since college started, I feel like that's what's been happening. Just a whole lot of other people that, like the analogy or illustration that guy made. It's 2 lines, connect, disconnect. And then I guess I don't even really think about it, to be honest. It just happens. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But earlier, I want to get back to like us, and how we like document everything about our lives, everything and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we've said that we kind of became distant, right?
Mhm.
At a certain point, and I'm just wondering if like people watching this right now were able to tell if like there was something going on, or if they could tell that turning point. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I felt that our conversations were forced. Like, I definitely had those moments where like, what the fuck is this conversation? Like, who are we? Like, why are we talking about this shit with each other? Like, it just didn't feel true and authentic. So I've had those moments, but I feel like we put a pretty good, like,
We're good actors.
not that we were good actors,
Yeah,
but
no, I'm just kidding. No,
like, we knew how to still have a conversation with each other even when we knew it wasn't the same. But I don't know if you guys have realized it. Maybe
let us know in the comments. I would like to
Really?
know.
maybe vote in the little poll.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you guys tell we hate each other?
Like, I feel like the chemistry is different.
I mean,
But-
during the podcast, I don't necessarily notice it. Maybe that's just me.
I think so too.
think
I
they're
feel like it's
normal.
yeah.
Sometimes I do notice it, and it just feels a little off. But there's like nothing I can do about it. I
Yeah.
mean, stop
Like,
recording
it still
right now.
needs to, like, go on. It's
Do
like
you feel it too?
I feel it sometimes, yeah. Not like a lot, but it definitely is sometimes.
Yeah, I remember we would record a podcast, and then it was always like guaranteed, like everyone kind of knew that we were gonna hang out afterwards,
Eat,
and it
we
would be like a
eat.
whole thing, something we all looked forward to.
Yeah. When it stopped, huh?
But it's not like after the podcast we just leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think for me, the moment that I would define as like, how would I define it? How would I define it? The moment that I would define as, when I knew that it would just never be the same, I guess, was, funny enough, after the Lake Tahoe trip. Right after we got back from that, like after that moment, like I don't think anything ever felt the same, which is really, really weird. And that was a particularly tough month, June.
That was your birthday.
Yeah, that's kind of when I like grieved everything, cried it all out. And it sucks because it's like, it feels like life sets you up. Like, it was all a series of very unfortunate events that just like take hit after hit after hit, and then like once you're like past that, you're like, holy shit, like I can never go back to that. So yeah, for me, the moment that I was like, I like can't be close to this group anymore was after that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a moment like that?
I don't know if there was like a particular moment. I mean, with you it's different, but like just the podcast generally, I think over the summer it just clicked, and I just knew it wasn't the same.
Yeah, I think it was just like when we stopped doing the things that we would normally do, like eating after the podcast or like.
And I can also tell that guy was growing very distant.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I felt like, God, like you didn't even want to be here. So it made me like, I don't know, just miss everything, and it just wasn't the same anymore. It's like, if he doesn't want to be here, I don't want to force him to like have these certain feelings towards us or anything. Like it is what it is, you know. So it's just hard. It was like, that's it. I mean, we're here for the podcast, and I still appreciate it, of course, but it's just not. I feel like now it's podcast first, friendship second, and before it would be the opposite. So.
Yeah, like we put a lot of effort into trying to maintain the friendship. We had like a whole budget and everything to like go out and like make sure that,
and it worked.
Yeah, and it worked. To make sure everyone could afford, you know, the meals we would have whenever we did go out together and all of that. And you know, that was just really sweet and really fun. But even then, all of that effort, like sometimes you just can't save a friendship. Like there's a certain time where it has to come to an end, and not all friendships have like expiration dates. Like some can last forever. And also, do you guys believe that, like, do you guys believe that things are like for certain, like never able to be like repaired? I guess like friendships with people and stuff.
No, I think
because like Gael, you keep saying that like I can never be close with this like group of friends before, group of people anymore, and like I can see how like you would feel that way because I felt that way. But after like personal growth and like, you know, time spent away from each other, I realized that like it's definitely possible, because like now I'm a whole different person, and then there's like a whole group of different people. I don't know. Maybe I'm being optimistic.
No,
but...
I agree. I mean, like, I think to say never is such a strong like word. And I think it's possible. Like,
yeah, like genuinely speaking, I feel like the podcast can get close again. It's just,
do we want to?
Do we want to? And will our like life situations allow it? Like, because we're all at college and stuff.
But that's only if like the past problems were solved in the first place.
That's true.
Because sure, there could be different people, but will there still be the same problems?
Yeah, like exactly. That's such a good point to make, because sometimes I hold resentment for some things that like we all have like done to each other. And obviously, Carol and I have a lot of history, and that gets in the way a lot. So it's just, is it possible? Like, to, even after like such shitty things have happened between us, like, is it possible?
It definitely is. After everyone wants to. First step is, do you want to? Yes, no. No, it's not gonna happen. But if you do want to, then it definitely is. But first, I think you need a lot of time apart. You need a lot of like space to grow and heal, and then come back and like, you know, have these new experiences. And a lot of times, like, I feel like friendships are strong because of nostalgia and history. Like 25 years from now, 30 years from now, like, even though you're like close to a whole nother group, you might still like feel close to us just because of the history attached to it. So sometimes that like might be like even the reason you are able to come back together. So I think it's possible. But yeah, it just depends if people even obviously want to or not.
Yeah. And like the reason why time apart is so necessary is for your personal growth. Like I think it just allows you to drop all of the resentment and open your mind to, the possibility of friendships occurring again. Because I don't know, you can get really stuck in a place and not want to forgive people because you're stuck. Like, because those things are still happening to you. Like, you feel it still. But when you have time apart, you start to kind of not feel it as much. And you kind of, try and become a more forgiving person and you start forgiving people. And I think that allows the possibility to like rebuild those friendships and stuff.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, like next year or no, it's New Year's Eve, right?
It is New
Okay.
Year's Eve.
So next year, I don't know. We might get closer. Who knows?
Maybe by like end of 2022, we just absolutely do not talk.
Oh my god, that
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Totally could happen because yeah.
There won't even be an episode.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be our voice memos.
Yeah. Hope you guys are well. Anyways. Yeah, it's interesting. This in retrospect, this podcast has like accidentally been a documentation of like the beginning and the end of a friendship, of a friend group.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really interesting. That like it kind of just played out naturally.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning we weren't really close,
Oh, true.
but then we became close as a group. We peaked, and then we dropped.
Yeah.
So, really interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
Right.
Yeah. That we're still able even to keep this up there, like, while we were here. If that makes sense.
Well, I think that's just because like it's like a work-life balance thing.
Yeah.
Like part of this is work, and like
Yeah.
it's not necessarily too difficult. Like I don't hate
Yeah.
you guys. I can't absolutely stand to be in the same room as you. Maybe Thomas for a little bit couldn't do that. It was really difficult. It was really uncomfortable to like
very, very, very.
come here. But it's kind of like with the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
There's like toxic
This is the
workplaces.
office.
This is the office.
This
At
is
the end
the
of the day, this
office.
is the office. This is our office. It feels weird when I start using my hands. I feel a lot more open than when I'm like this.
Stop that.
Yes, it
Open
feels
up.
more open.
All you guys.
Yeah,
Let's say. Just kidding.
that's so true. So, yeah, that's like I guess something that changed
Yeah.
for the worse this year.
Yeah.
And I feel like this was a conversation that needed to be had. And in order for us to be transparent with our listeners,
Yeah,
I don't know. 'Cause
Maybe-
I feel like for the past few months, it just has been has felt more of a job than like a passion. Because there was a point where we all kind of were doing it because we cared a lot about each other, and we really felt that conversations, needed to be had for the greater good. But now it feels transactional. Like we're here because we're binded by a contract, and we're here because Kyle scheduled it on Google Meets or whatever. And it's like, I don't want it to feel like that, because I think the podcast is something that we all do value and treasure, but it has lost its, I don't know, spirituality, I guess. Like it's kind of lost the energy isn't there anymore. Like, and I don't know, it makes me sad because the podcast is something great, and I think, I don't know.
yeah. Well, for that one, you might have to speak for yourself, because I feel like the total opposite. Yeah, I still really enjoy these conversations. I still like am actively like thinking like, what do I want to talk about? What do I want to do? So
yeah, it's like
I think the fact that like I acknowledge that I do just like see it as work. Like it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with friends.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, now I have like a job to do. I'm gonna go record the podcast. That has allowed me to like just view it in a more enjoyable way, because if I still try to view it as, you know, it's a friend thing, but we're not really friends, so it feels weird. That's why it feels like that. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Expect disappointment.
Oh my god! Did you watch it already? Is that
Expect disappointment, and you can never really be disappointed.
That's really deep. That's really
That's
deep.
really
Yes, I
deep.
have.
Oh my god, not dude. I have to start doing moving my hands, because sometimes it's hard to find like a thumbnail.
Because
We're all just like this. So it's like I need someone to go. Like, so I'm pretend I'm crying.
Time to reach out.
Yeah.
That's
No, this is really good.
That's really
That's
good.
really
Hold
good.
it.
Yeah, hold it.
Hold
Hold
it.
it. Hold it.
A little more of that.
That's really good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Tom, stop smiling.
That's good.
No, I can't. I'm sorry.
You're smiling at me crying. Okay, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Authenticity is what this is all about.
Yes.
It was an uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah.
But it
I
was
think,
necessary.
you know,
Kayla?
How do I feel about?
I don't think I've heard
maybe
anything.
eventually we have to do one
about
on
what?
All this.
everything that went wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Wait, what?
I don't know. You have any thoughts?
Yeah.
Any you two?
Any thoughts? I mean, I think I already said it. It's like the podcast is now more of a business, and for me at least, it does make it harder to like be more vulnerable, I guess, because I feel like we're just not as close anymore, and I like telling personal things to my close friends, and sometimes it's hard when I just don't feel that way. And it's like it's just not the same, you know? So that's why I feel like even if I were to think about it in a business standpoint, or like this is my work and everything, it's like it's still hard because it started off as like a friendship.
Yeah, and
Just
it
doing
still
the podcast.
is like a thing that we're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like-
just I don't know, it's hard. It's something that I've noticed, obviously, and it does make me sad. I mean, especially with Isaac too. It's like he's moved to Berkeley, and I don't talk to Isaac like at all, basically. And that's not like a bad blood thing. It's just I just don't talk to him. You know, like I only talk to him when he's here for the podcast, and that's pretty much it. But it's okay, because when we were in high school, of course we were gonna spend time with each other. Like, I just remember always laughing with Isaac and like just saying random shit. But now it's just different, you know. And I don't know. Hopefully next year, I feel like we can grow closer. But like Mark, for example, like I appreciate your efforts when you're like trying to do something that involves like everyone, like the whole group. And I try to back it up.
Thank you.
But it does make me a little sad when, you know, you guys are like, well, I don't know, like, should we even do this? Like, it's just not the same anymore. And I completely agree. It isn't the same anymore, but it doesn't take away from the fact that we're still trying. Yeah, so it's like
It's
a
like
step
we
in.
all have to want it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, exactly.
I don't know if we're all there yet.
Exactly. And of course, it doesn't work if not everybody wants it, because then it just feels forced and awkward. So we just have to wait, and that's it. We just have to be patient until everybody wants it, and then we'll just see.
Yeah, like that. Kayla put it perfectly into words, but since we're not close anymore, we can't have like good, like truly authentic and vulnerable conversations. It's all very surface level. Oh, like, how's it going? How do you feel right now? But it's nothing deep. Like, I feel like we haven't had a conversation like that in forever. But yeah. Oh, Mark?
Do you hold any resentment towards any of us?
I hold a lot of resentment towards Thomas.
Like right now. Do you feel that right now?
Right now, do I feel that? Well, I mean, I guess I would just see it as like resentment. I just don't necessarily like him. Like it's just, someone like I used to know or someone I know, but there's a lot of trauma that I have not necessarily faced yet, because I don't really know how. So I think that's what's holding me back. So I've just been kind of holding on to that for a good bit.
Is there anything else? Anything that we've done?
Anything you guys have done?
Something that we haven't done?
I think, I don't know. I think for me it was, what was it? I don't even know. I think it was just, I guess, I don't know how to sum it up. It was just like a combination of small things that show effort or show appreciation. So I guess those things kind of add up. And then, yeah, it was a lot of, I think the biggest thing, I don't know how to explain it, but it's, it's almost there. It is almost there. The hardest thing was that I think really contributed to me not feeling or that contributed to me feeling like I should probably not be in this friendship, was seeing the good in people and being willing to, and this is kind of difficult to do, but I feel like something that I really value is I don't know. I guess it's just trusting your friends. It's giving them the benefit of the doubt. I think that was also something that was really valuable because I find that I don't realize what I value until I look at what I do for people. Because oftentimes what you do for others is a reflection of what you want done for you. And so if I think back about what I used to do for people, which I think was just it was just a lot of it was a lot of making I think it's trying to make my friends feel loved in ways that they may have not experienced before, right? So if they never had I guess a caring family, for example, I think I found a lot of I showed my love by trying to extend something that maybe I experienced and showing them what that's like. That's something I did often. Another thing would probably be seeing the good in them. So I guess like, I like seeing the good in people, and if just like seeing the good in people and just trying to show them, I guess, as much love as possible, as simple as that is. I don't even know what went. I don't know how to explain yet what went wrong. But it wasn't necessarily like a single thing. It was just a combination of small things. And I think at the end of the day, I just never really felt appreciated or loved equally. So that took a toll on me.
Yeah,
that's probably it. Took a while for that to come out, but
no worries.
Thank you.
Take your time. The reason why I asked you, because I feel like, just observing like this whole conversation, it feels like, Thomas and Kayla, you guys are like so optimistic about the future, and that you guys want this friendship to happen, right? And I feel like one important thing for that in order to happen is to acknowledge what happened in the past. Because just because we all grew differently and became different people doesn't mean the problems won't be there. And I feel like we're like overlooking one important thing, which is, Gael's problems with us. I feel like we never asked him what's wrong or what's going on. To be honest, like I thought that was the reason why he held resentment towards us, because we didn't ever ask you what was going on. But after asking you that, now I know it's something deeper than that.
I mean, I think that's what it is. I just didn't know how to like put it into words.
Yeah,
because that's exactly like what it was. I think a lot of times it just constantly felt like it was like, what did you do? What did you do? Not what was done to you.
Yeah, I think it's for us, it's so easy to assume that Gael's gonna be okay. I feel like that's like the reasons why we've done what we've done. But we can't forget that Gael's still has emotions, feelings. Yeah. And by expecting like a close friendship after this, it's like, sure, you fixed your problems, but how about Gael? You can't just overlook that. It's not just one-sided. So that's why, like, when I heard it's like, it's about patience, I feel like that's bullshit. It's not patience. Sure, it's like a part of it, but it's also acknowledging what you've done and also work towards that. That's it.
Mm-hmm. I think resentment is like the biggest thing. Like you said, Mark, if there are still problems in the past that haven't been resolved, then like we can't move forward. And it's true. Like, I mean, there are a lot of problems between like all of us that we still need to work on if we ever want to get to that level. But that's if we want, and it's an if. It's not guaranteed if that will ever happen. But yeah, like I think everyone is like just. I think I was in a really shitty position, and so is like Kayla and Mark and Isaac, because I remember like when I got hurt by Gael and like the whole like cheating situation happened, like I would communicate my feelings a lot, like to everybody, that like what was going on was really painful. I was very open about my depression and just overall like how shitty my relationship with Gael was, and like I have, I mean, I kind of resolved most of it, but I had a lot of resentment towards Gael, and I would never let it go. When it came to like what he did, and I would be angry at like Mark and Kayla and Isaac for like still like treating him with kindness, I guess, or like almost looking past it. I've talked about it before, but like it was really frustrating for me to see everyone kind of look past what he did because he ruined like my mental health and took away my innocence, and I felt like nobody even like, and like I mean how could they, like we're kind of in a podcast, we had to spend time with each other, and a friendship was basically like like it was forced, like we couldn't get out of it, and because of that, like Kayla, Mark, and Isaac were like so friends with Gael, like, and it's like Gael never did anything bad to me, like ever, because nobody ever held him accountable but me. And even though I held him accountable, I felt like it was never enough. Like no matter what Gael did, and every time I communicated like what he did and why it was so hurtful, nobody had my back but like sometimes Kayla. Like, you know, Kayla would actually consider how I felt and like defended me. I remember earlier this year, I mean, I still hold resentment towards Mark for this. Like, it's something that is like so frustrating. But it's like, I remember there was an incident earlier this year not over the summer, like September, so not even that long ago. And like, you guys never apologized for it. And even though Kayla, and even though everyone kind of acknowledged that like it was a shitty thing for me to go through, I never got a formal apology. Nothing was ever resolved for it. And it was like something that I just had to go through. And, you know, it's like shit like that, it kept happening. But I always was just so focused on making my life better and like trying to be a happier person that I just kept forgiving. Like, that's why I say I don't really have resentment towards anybody now, because I've had resentment for so long that it has never done me any good. And even though when I think about it too much, it hurts, I know that like I can't do anything about it. Like, what has happened that has already happened, and like, yeah, like, and you know, it's weird for me to try and be optimistic about like us all being friends again, even though I felt like I was the one who got the most hurt and like nothing was ever done about it. And I kind of had to take it upon myself to just feel better and like not invalidate how I felt. I just wanted us to just move past it. And I felt like I mean, I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job with it too. Like I don't hate you guys for what you did. Like, did I hate you guys in the moment? Hell yeah, but like I know that even though I guess I just, even though I didn't get closure or an apology, I can't do anything about it. And so I just moved past it. that's why I'm so optimistic about letting go of resentment, because I was able to. But yeah, Mark, you brought in a really good perspective. Like, if things like that have happened, I don't know if it is possible for us to rebuild friendships.
And I also think it's really hard when like everybody in the situation thinks that they're not the one in the wrong. It's like both people believe they're right, and there's just no budging that. And so it's like, what do we do now? Because an apology is not going to be authentic if you don't think that, you know, what you did was wrong. And it's a shitty situation because both people can't see anything past their own viewpoint. And whether who's right or wrong, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because they don't see that. They just see themselves in the right. So it's kind of hard to move past problems when they don't see one.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, oftentimes it isn't about someone's right and someone's wrong. It's just we both got hurt. You didn't do anything wrong, but it still hurt me. You didn't do anything wrong either, but it still hurt me. And those kind of arguments are the toughest to solve. Because like you said, Kayla, everybody wants to be right, even though no one is. No one's right and no one's wrong. It's simply like emotions are complex. And, you know, it gets tricky.
But even when somebody acknowledges that what they did was wrong, and then like, even when Kayla herself brought it up, she just like rephrased what I said when I was like, I remember very vividly after I like said everything and I was an emotional wreck. All it took was for Kayla to basically rephrase what I said, restate it, and then all of a sudden, you guys were like, oh, yeah, I never saw it like that before. And it was like, it's like, what was the fucking point of that? Like, if you guys aren't going to listen to me, then, like, if you guys, like, if it took, like, Kayla just saying that, then why the fuck am I, like, over here trying to convince you guys that, like, what you guys did was wrong? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. Like, that is the part that is so frustrating because you guys admitted it yourselves, like, after Kayla said it. Like, that's the thing. It's, you guys acknowledge that what you did was wrong, like, but you never apologize. It was like, you guys don't feel bad about it. You guys just knew that what you guys did was shitty. And even though like I didn't do anything like outrageously wrong, I was communicating my boundaries. And for some reason, that was something that was just out of line for me. And that was just unbelievable to me. Like, that's why it's kind of surprising that, like, you still try and be friends with us, I guess. Sorry to bring, like, personal stuff into this podcast, but it's too late now.
That's what this is all about.
Yeah. Like even though...
What'd you say?
That's what this is all about.
Like, even though what had happened, you still hit us up. You still message our group chat and you're like, oh, like, I miss you guys. Oh, like, let's hang out. And we're like, after the podcast, oh, like, what are you guys doing? Let's try and hang out. Like, it's like, why would you expect that? Like, after what you did to me and you still never apologize. Like, you still don't see anything you did wrong, yet you expect me to be okay with it. And, like, by me being friends with you again, it would just mean that what you did was okay. But the thing is that, like, I can't keep giving a shit about that. Like, I can't keep letting, like, the things that other people do affect me that much because I know that nobody's ever gonna listen and no one's ever gonna do the right thing. So I just let it go. Like, that's the thing. That's why, like, I keep things friendly because I have to let it go or else it just backfires all the time.
And
Hold on. So you think I never apologized to you?
Never did.
Do you remember me apologizing to Thomas?
I
in this
don't
room?
remember.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I did. I apologized for what I did. I acknowledged it. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. And then right now, I think you just overlooked like the entire point of what I was trying to say when I was talking to Jill just like a couple minutes ago. You know, it's about acknowledging of what you did wrong. And I think that's something that, you know, just speaking for the both of us, that's what we're experiencing right now. I don't think you're acknowledging what you were doing wrong either.
Okay, it's just I think it's really frustrating and hypocritical for you to say I think it's important for us to acknowledge what we did wrong when you guys haven't acknowledged what you guys did wrong. Like, I don't understand. Like, you only want us to acknowledge what we did wrong when it's not you. That's what you're saying.
During
That's
my
what you're
apology,
implying.
that's what I did.
You mean the apology you just gave me when Kayla
No,
and
back
I,
then.
even though Kayla and I don't remember it, we genuinely, and then like, what?
How do you think that makes me feel that you guys don't remember it?
How do you think it would make me feel when that was what I was waiting for? Why the fuck would I not remember you giving me an apology? That doesn't make sense. Why would I try and hold resentment against you for not giving me an apology when that was all I asked for?
God, do you remember me apologizing in this room?
I don't remember much of the conversation at all.
I was looking for an apology. It's not something that I would overlook.
Okay, well, Thomas, I don't know why you brought this up if you're overlooking like the topic.
But
of
I'm
what I was
not
trying to bring
overlooking
up
it.
with
It's
me and Joe.
It's like a response to what you said. Like,
I don't know why you like turned it against us.
turn it. Okay, I don't see it.
No,
Kayla?
give it a second.
Oh, let Kayla speak.
I don't see it as a turning it against you guys. He was just saying a situation where he was in a position similar to Kyle where he was hurt or something. And he was just explaining that. But I could see how you see that, but I don't think that's Thomas's intention to turn it against you guys and make you like villainize you guys or anything like that. It's just
Like,
the problems that we were talking about in the
exactly.
first place.
Like, I don't want to antagonize you guys because if I wanted to antagonize you guys, why didn't I do it earlier? Why would I why would I wait so long to bring it up? Like, that's the thing. You don't want to be confronted because it makes you feel guilty about it. And I understand that. It's hard to, like, for somebody to, like, say, you hurt me, and for you not to get defensive. Like, I feel the same way, but that's not what's happening here. I'm not trying to antagonize you guys or, like, try to make you seem like bad people.
Yeah.
But what you were saying about, like, we need to acknowledge our own, like, mistakes and...
Can I tell you something? That, like, I think your feelings are very much valid, and I think it's really great that you brought it up because, you know, it was in line with what you two were talking about. I think right now it seems like, you know, the resentment that you were holding, trying to get away from, kind of came back, and so I know you're really upset. Take a moment to breathe because I know that, like, when things kind of like strike a chord, you just kind of get lost. So, you know, I think it's always important because communicating is really, really hard. Because everybody wants to feel heard. We all really want to feel heard. And oftentimes, like I said, it feels like, to me, I'm right. To you, you're right. And there's no winning like that. Because emotions are really, really complicated. And these situations are so much more than black and white. There's, you know, it's not clear who did everything right. So it's also important to not use, you know, very targeted statements such as like, you never did this, you always do this, because it's obviously not true. It's important to understand and acknowledge, I could have done this better, you could have done this better. So I think this would be a lot more productive if we just take a moment, calm down, and then really think about the emotion we're trying to convey. What are we actually trying to say? Because if it's anger, it doesn't lead anywhere. It just leads to accusing. But if you really take a moment to think, what do I want to convey to you? That's important, especially when it comes to resentment. So I think, yeah, I'm glad both of you brought it up. I think these conversations are really, really difficult, especially when there's resentment. And I think that's one of the main reasons we don't necessarily like bringing stuff up, and we're uncomfortable with confrontation because we know we kind of lose control of our emotions, or we get heated and we go on this whole thing, and it's something that I get like very scared of personally. So I think for now we'll end this episode. So on a lighter note, I hope you learned something from this episode, if anything. I know it's uncomfortable and these conversations are really, really tough. So if it was a little too much for you, our apologies. But if you got to the end, hopefully you learned something. You saw what, having friends is actually like, and that it's difficult, and that we're obviously not a perfect friend group. Like, we might make it seem on Instagram or anything. So I hope you guys all have a happy new year. Happy New Year. And we will see you next year. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.